The Philippine Navy has been operating a fleet of fast patrol vessels, being the type with the most number in the Philippine fleet. These assets are currently under the Littoral Combat Force, which is in charge of naval operations in the littorals and operating coastal patrol assets like patrol crafts. The Philippine Navy currently has several patrol ship classes in service, with each has differences in terms of size, design capabilities, and characteristics, including the following patrol assets with above 50 tons in displacement. Tomas Batilo class fast patrol ships, acquired second-hand from South Korea in the 1990s. They are the most heavily armed patrol crafts in the fleet, although they are among the oldest, being in service with the Republic of Korea Navy as the Chamsuri class since the late 1970s. Only 4 ships remain, as the Philippine Navy decided to start retiring some of them in the past few years. Cagatingan class, currently the largest patrol crafts in the fleet, although this class had a lack of serviceability and performance. 2 ships remain and will need replacement soon. Jose Andrade class, currently the most numerous type of patrol crafts in the fleet, with 22 units in service since 1990. Although they are the youngest patrol crafts in service with the Philippine Navy, they are already nearing 30 years and needed replacements in the next few years. Alberto Navarrete class, the oldest patrol ships in the Philippine Navy. The 2 patrol ships of the class were formerly U.S. Coast Guard patrol ships. Both ships, BRP Alberto Navarrete and BRP Abraham Campo, being in service with the U.S. Coast Guards starting from 1967 and 1970. That puts them at 52 and 50 years in combined total service with the U.S. Coast Guard and Philippine Navy. The rest of the littoral combat ship assets are surface assets below 50 tons in displacement, which includes the multi-purpose attack crafts, Swift and De Havilland Land 90-9 classes of patrol crafts from the US and Australia, and the recently donated Type 96-6Y patrol crafts from China. With the littoral combat ships becoming a smaller force due to the retirement of older assets, it needs replacement as part of the revised Armed Forces of the Philippines modernization program. In this video, we will see the acquisition of Shaldag MK V fast patrol boat for the Fast Attack Interdiction Craft Acquisition Project of the Philippine Navy, looking at how much it cost, how many units will there be, but more importantly, we will look at what it is capable of, and when we could see it in action.
330 for 62 low 665.
301 Freedom Marshal, case for recovery, CV1 approach, expected final bearing 331, altimeter 3001. 301 Marshal 170, 24 Angels 9er.
With assets being retired and no new replacement, the Littoral Combat Force leadership made its voice heard and requested the Philippine Navy Flag Officer in Command, Vice Admiral Robert M. Pedrad, in securing funding and approval for the acquisition of assets to patrol the southern borders of the Philippines. The acquisition of fast attack and interdiction craft is armed with small surface-to-surface missiles that are more lethal than those installed in their multi-purpose attack craft Mark III. The decision made to go for fast attack and interdiction craft instead of additional multi-purpose attack craft due to earlier observations made by several groups within the Philippine Navy. The multi-purpose attack craft is too small for operations far from operating bases. It also lack of livable space and facilities to allow at least a week in operations at sea, including a decent toilet and shower room and bunk spaces. There are also calls that the multi-purpose attack craft Spike extended range is too small for use against territorial defense requirements, against similar-sized or larger enemy naval assets. In February 2019, the Philippine Navy announced plans to request the acquisition between 10 to 12 fast patrol crafts, which will use to combat piracy and terrorism. Based on recent calls by President Duterte, the Philippine Navy has already been exploring the possibility of acquiring new fast patrol crafts and has received several offers from friendly countries including Israel, South Korea, Sri Lanka, India, Indonesia, the US, Netherlands, and Australia. The Philippine Navy appears to have only made a request for information two Israel shipyards based in Haifa, Israel, proposed their Shaldag Mark V fast patrol craft to the Philippine Navy. The Mark V is the largest variant of the Shaldag family, almost the same size as the Philippine Navy own Andrada-class patrol gunboats, but faster and is proven to carry more weapons than the Philippine Navy 30-year-old US-designed vessels. In May 2019, during the conference between President Duterte, the Department of National Defense, Armed Forces of the Philippines, the cabinet members, and government agencies, the Philippine Navy received the green light to proceed with the acquisition phase, although with a smaller quantity and budget than earlier requested. President Duterte asked the Department of Budget and Management to find funds to pay for the project. With an approved budget of 10 billion pesos for 8 fast attack interdiction craft, the Philippine Navy selected the Israel shipyards based on the company's Shaldag Mark V fast patrol craft. In December 2020, the Philippine Navy completed the negotiations for the fast attack interdiction craft acquisition project with Israel's Ministry of Defense and Israeli shipyards, and also the release of the initial 10% payment, and the contract signing are expected in early 2021. The project has two separate lots, Lot 1 for platform, which cover the actual vessels, and Lot 2 for combat systems and missiles, which covers the weapon systems and the missile rounds. The Philippine Navy was also able to squeeze an additional craft with one set of remote weapon systems, increasing the total to be delivered to 9 units. The purchase of Shaldag Mark V from Israel shipyards included a technology transfer or license to build clause, wherein the Philippine Navy shall be allowed by Israel shipyards to license build the Shaldag Mark V on its own, or share the design with the Philippine Navy. The requirement also calls for 4 of the 9 fast attack and interdiction crafts to be constructed in the Philippines, but this only involves the vessels themselves, not the weapon systems, which still need to import from Rafael in Israel. And to make this happen, Israel shipyards will also help the Philippine Navy to rehabilitate the KVT Naval Yard, which will be the one to build the 4 locally made fast attack interdiction craft. The Philippine Navy KVT Naval Yard may not be huge enough to build larger ships, but it would start build smaller patrol crafts or fast attack crafts like the Shaldag Mark V. In the long run, this is beneficial to the Philippine Navy to support the Self-Reliance Defense Posture program that the entire armed forces of the Philippines is trying to have, and allow the Philippine Navy to assist other government agencies, like the Philippine Coast Guard is among those interested in acquiring the Shaldag family of fast patrol crafts. A local production capability for the Shaldag family of fast crafts could allow the Philippine Coast Guard to specify the requirement, which will give the KVT Naval Yard a good run for the money. The Shaldag Mark V is the largest variant of the Shaldag family. Designed for naval security missions, the Shaldag Mark V provides a high level of maneuverability and seakeeping. Designed to operate in distant areas, it is cost-effective with a high firepower-to-displacement ratio. The Shaldag Mark V is a recognized leader in the protection of littoral and exclusive economic zone waters. The general specifications: it has a length overall of 32.65 meters, beam maximum of 6.20 meters, displacement of about 95 tons. The Shaldag Mark V has two independently operated MTU diesel engines. The engines propel to water jets with maximum speed above 40 knots or 74 kilometers per hour, and has a range of 1,000 nautical miles at 12 knots or 22 kilometers per hour. The vessels can also carry 13,000 liters of fuel and 1,000 liters of fresh water. Shaldag Weapon System. The Philippine Navy has already selected the Rafael Advanced Systems Typhoon 12.7mm Naval Remote Controlled Weapon Stations, the Typhoon 30mm Naval Machine Gun System, and the Typhoon Missile Launching System, non-line of sight, capable of firing up to 8 rounds of Spike and LOS surface-to-surface missile. Each of the 9 fast attack interdiction craft will be armed with one Typhoon 30mm MGS and two Mini Typhoon 12.7mm or CWS, but only 4 will be equipped with the Typhoon MLS and LOS, although the 4 other vessels will be fitted for, but not with the missile system. The Spike non-line of sight is an enhanced version, the largest and longest ranged variant of the Rafael Spike missile family, with a 25-kilometer maximum effective range and a larger warhead than the standard Spike ER used by the Philippine Navy multi-purpose attack craft, Mark III, and soon to arrive Mark IV. It is guided by a radio data link for command guidance, although it has a fiber optic link up to 8 kilometers. The Philippine Navy is expected the delivery of fast attack interdiction craft within 2022. The Navy describes fast attack crafts as small, heavily armed boats with sufficient sensor capability to detect targets from a distance and can run at high speeds to catch up and intercept other fast craft threats. The missions it expected to do are intercept terrorists and kidnappers, which moving along the porous borders of the Philippines. Intercept smugglers, especially those carrying weapons for terrorists or insurgent groups, and illegal substances like drugs. In November 2020, using a multi-purpose attack craft, they intercepted an Abu Sayyaf terrorist speedboat near Sulair Island and eliminated all 7 terrorists. With the arrival of the Shaldag MK V, much bigger and heavily armed compared to the current multi-purpose attack craft of the Philippine Navy, this will surely add more combat capabilities and power projection to the area. Today's patron and YouTube member shout-out goes to Jesse Contreras, Brian Cabilia, Margin Baldo, Rex Daniel, Dean Carl from YT, Juna Barkis, and many others. You're awesome. Thank you so much for all your support. It's a cornerstone of what we're doing here, and you all deserve nothing but gratitude.